Albert Einstein, a Nobel Peace Prize-winning physicist, once said, "If the bee disappears from the surface of the Earth, man would have no more than 4 years left to live." This isn't true, and Albert Einstein never said that. But this fictitious quote does evoke an important idea. When bees come to mind, you may imagine a summer day gone awry with a painful sting. While this negative interaction is a common occurrence, bees support our lives in tremendous ways behind the scenes. For every 3 bites of food you take, one of those depended on the pollination of bees to make it to that plate. These small buzzing insects allow for 85% of the different crops we eat to grow, accounting for $235 to $577 billion in annual global profit. So, if widespread life is currently possible because of bees, is there an issue? In today's world, bees are facing declines in both population and diversity of species. The number of species found in the 2000s dropped 25% from the number of species found in the 1990s. Having a greater diversity of bee species is important to both bee survival and plant production. An environment that boasts more bee diversity can expect to see stabler population levels among bees as well as increased yields of fruit and seeds in the surrounding flora. Among the reasons for seeing bees die out globally are habitat loss, invasive species, disease, pesticide use, and climate change. To grasp the seriousness of this issue, let's imagine what would happen if bees were wiped off the face of the planet. While the human race may not be completely eradicated in this scenario like the internet's Einstein predicts, it would create a more desolate and bland world. Plants are able to sexually reproduce in more than one way, so pollination by bees is not necessary for every single plant to survive. This would leave the human diet with major food staples such as wheat and corn that do not require bees to grow. Some flowering species dependent on bees could be pollinated manually by human labor. However, the time and intensity of this method would lead to these foods becoming part of a high-priced and exclusive market. The common diet of the world would have to turn away from many fruits and vegetables and survive on less colorful and less nutritious meals. Not only would a vast variety of foods become relatively inaccessible, but the products associated with them, such as cosmetics and medication, would become equally as expensive and hard to find. Also, it's just as important to think about the lives of non-human creatures that would be affected without bees to sustain their ecosystem. Ecosystems will globally see population decline from hunger. With fewer individuals able to survive, countless genera will lose biodiversity, spiraling them into further population decline. All in all, there will be too many mouths to feed and not enough food naturally being created. In order to avoid such a bleak and grim future, humanity needs to begin taking steps to ensure bees stick around. A key move in protecting bees is protecting the environments they call home. Slowing or reversing habitat destruction can prevent colonies of wild bees from being destroyed. Offering bees more food can also help slow down population decline through means such as intercropping with flowering species, planting community and home wildflower gardens, and creating nectar wells. Ample food supply from a variety of sources will allow bees to reproduce even in less than ideal conditions. Direct management can be implemented with human knowledge to further push bees from extinction. Beekeepers can now remotely monitor hives to become aware of possible colony collapsing events and take action to change its outcome. Medication can be given to colonies to fight parasites as opposed to hazardous pesticide practices. Queens can be selected for a hive that have a high affinity for cleanliness that can ward off parasites and diseases. Continuing technological improvements in these methods would allow for humanity to begin righting the wrong of setting bees on a path of destruction. If we want to see our world grow stronger than it is now, we need to begin by saving the backbone of our ecosystem: the bee.